So you'd probably have All Blacks in the hot seat to win the Rugby Championship from here on in. Looking at the fixtures, they've got the Wallabies in Eden Park where they don't lose, then in Perth. Then you also look at the Springboks, who are probably in a good position to win it as well, where they've got Argentina in Durban and then Argentina at their second home in Twickenham in England. But then again, looking at past results this year's Rugby Championship, who knows, man? Who knows? Everyone's sitting on 2 wins and 2 losses. The winner of this year's Rugby Championship will be won in the last round. How good is that? How good is that? Can we just appreciate rugby at the moment? Put aside who you support, what you think of the rules, what you think of the ref. Can we just appreciate rugby at the moment? This Rugby Championship this year at the moment. How good has it been? The upsets, the comebacks, the tries, the rivalries, the results, the drama, the competitiveness, the tackles, just the everything to go with it. It's been outstanding, and it truly has been the best and most competitive Rugby Championship ever, I think. Ever. Apart from Tri-Nations, because back in the day, the OG Tri-Nations was unreal. There's probably a bit of nostalgia that comes with that as well. And that's why I put that on such a high pedestal. Because you remember back in the day, waking up early to watch those games, or just to watch them when they played with the cotton jerseys that were big, the collars, the Summit ball in Australia, the yellow Adidas ball in New Zealand, South Africa, the Gilbert, like nostalgia, right? Back in the day, the Tri-Nations. But the Rugby Championship now, or this year at least, outstanding. Outstanding, on par, almost on par with the old school Tri-Nations, because it's been really good. And I do think why this year has been this competitive is because of the resurgence of the Wallabies, how well they've done this year. Last year, I think they won 1 game last year and got absolutely smoked in all of the rest of them. They've had a lot to come back from, obviously, post Eddie Jones and post the 23 World Cup. And what Joe Schmidt has done with this Wallabies team to get them to where they are at right now, competing against the best, beating the world champs in South Africa. They haven't done that at Ellis Park, 62 years, I think it was. Then how they can fight back games and win it, or win those games versus that game versus Argentina where they fought back right at the end. That second test versus the Springboks, they were really competitive in it. Narrowly lost their second test to Los Pumas. A big Bledisloe Cup coming up for them for sure, and a big kind of yardstick of where they truly at with regards to how competitive are they when they come up against their old foe in New Zealand, and how competitive they can stay throughout the Rugby Championship. It's good to come out strong. Everyone comes out firing. There's lots of energy at the start half of the Rugby Championship, but then to the latter ends, the business end of it, because Wallabies at the moment are on top. If the Rugby Championship ended today, Wallabies have got the title, right? So that's been my reason why the Rugby Championship has been so competitive this year, is because of the resurgence of the Wallabies. Los Pumas have always been kind of a win here, a win there. You kind of know what you're getting from them, but you also kind of don't know what you're getting from them. So it's good to see them. Also, like, they always expected to win 1 or 2 games. It'll be also interesting to see how they go now versus the Springboks, where some would say the Springboks are, yes, still dominant and yes, can still win big games, but are also there for the taking, shown by the Wallabies and shown by New Zealand in that test at Eden Park. Another thing that I have to address, and that has stood out to me massively in this year's Rugby Championship, and it has been for a while, but it's something I want to talk on now. is the fans of the different countries and how the fans that they like to think that they're a lot different to each other, but all fans are pretty much the same. Let's be honest. Because we've seen lots of wins and losses in this year's Rugby Championship, one year fans can be riding high, we're going to win the World Cup again, we're going to be the world champs, everyone else sucks, we're the best, to the next week, humble pie, get rid of the coach, make heaps of changes to the team. What are they doing? How? And I'm one of them. Absolutely I am, because at the core of it, I'm also just a rugby fan. And I'm one of it. I question what the coaches are doing when they lose, and then when they win, I'm like, wow, they were so smart. I am also that. But it's very interesting to see how one week fans can be, and it's All Blacks fans, it's Springbok fans, it's Wallabies fans, it's Los Pumas fans, right? We're not even talking about Irish and English, and because we're not in the Six Nations now, I'm just talking Rugby Championship. Springbok fans, All Blacks fans, Wallabies fans, Los Pumas fans, everyone can think that they're different to each other, but they're all the same. When you're winning, you're world champs, your team's going to beat everyone else sucks, we're the best. When you're losing, the ref is cheating, the ref this, the ref that, the coach needs to be sacked, players in the team need to go and be dropped, and new players need to come in. It's very funny to see. It's funny. It's interesting. It's funny. It's funny. And again, I'm very similar, right? Because at the core of it, I'm still a fan. But love it. Moving forward, the last two tests, like I said, the last round is going to be that's going to decide it, because we can come out and teams can win the fifth round. And you could be like, oh, yeah, no, because the next round it could totally flip on its head again, and all those teams that just won can lose, because that's what's been happening these past few rounds in the Rugby Championship. It's been great. Absolutely. At the moment, right now, I would say, to be honest, Springboks are probably in the hot seat to win, and All Blacks, just because of that Eden Park, they're definitely going to win at Eden Park versus the Wallabies. And you can't say Springboks are definitely going to win in Durban, because they've lost in South Africa this year already. I don't know, man. I've got no clue. And we're only going to know after the last round, which is great. Absolutely love it. Fans of rugby, Springboks, All Blacks, Wallabies, Los Pumas, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. What do you think of the fans rant that I just had? And then what do you think of this year's Rugby Championship? Because it's been outstanding. I've loved every bit of it. Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Bye.